Hey everyone, welcome back. So the final season of Game of Thrones will be airing sometime in the first half of next year, so I thought it'd be fun to run through some of the things that I would like to see in the final season. And of course, spoilers for the entire show up to this point. Start off talking about battle scenes. I would like to see a decent amount and variety of battle sequences in this next season. Now, we've seen some pretty top-notch battles over the years, and I expect them to keep at least that level of quality this coming year. More importantly, though, I would like to see some things we haven't seen before, like dragon versus dragon fighting, armies fighting with the elephants, briefly mentioned in last season's finale, full-scale naval combat. I'd also like to see Jon riding Ghost into battle. I know people want him on a dragon, but I think this would be way cooler. On the flip side of that, the show definitely needs to take time for the slower moments in between these battles. We should spend time with characters who haven't interacted much throughout the show to build some sort of camaraderie that can increase stakes when the action rolls back around. I think Jaime and Dany need to have some quality screen time together since there's a ton of history between the two, but they've barely spent any time face-to-face on screen. I think this could develop into an incredibly interesting dynamic if done well. Jaime and Jon also would probably have some really interesting back and forths. Sam and Dany meeting will be very interesting as well, considering she burned his father and brother last season, and this might actually serve as an interesting conversation piece and point of similarity with Jaime. In addition to the new dynamics, there are some reunions that absolutely need to happen for me. Arya and Jon, Arya and the Hound, Jon and Sam. Now, the main point here is that the characters and their dynamics are what made Thrones a successful property to begin with, and it's important not to lose that element just because we've reached the final act. All of the story threads have finally come together, and it would be a mistake to not take advantage of the opportunities that creates for character growth and interplay. Let's jump into some of the elements I'm more just curious about, and I'll throw in some predictions in here as well. I'm curious to see which conflict wraps up first, the heroes versus the White Walkers, or versus Cersei. What will be some of the twists and complications along the way to each of these wars' resolutions? Will we learn anything more about the White Walkers or their motivations, or are they meant to be seen as more of an unstoppable force of nature? Will Jon find out about his lineage? I ask this because I could see Sam not wanting to tell him if he thinks Jon has found some happiness being with Dany, and this could be an interesting conflict between Sam and Bran. Who sits on the Iron Throne at the end? Now, this is totally up in the air, but I could see it going a few different ways. Depending on which direction the season goes, here are some contenders in my mind. Dany, Sansa, Tyrion, or no one, and the monarchy is replaced by a council or something. Let's do some death and survivor predictions for a minute. For deaths, I think Jaime is totally toast and will probably sacrifice himself at some point during the season. Jon and Beric, I think, are also pretty doomed to die. Wouldn't be surprised to see Jorah die either, but that could go either way. Cersei, almost definitely. Same with Euron. I also have a feeling that all three dragons will be dead by the end. Sorry, dragon fans. Now for the survivors. I think Sansa is safe. Sam, Gilly, and Little Sam are most likely safe and clear as well. I see Tyrion as being relatively safe, but less so than the others. Everyone else could easily go either way for me. It's Thrones, so you never really know. Lastly, I just have one more incredibly vague thing to ask of the final season. Just make a satisfying conclusion to the story. Yes, that's probably an incredibly unhelpful request, but can we really ask for much more than that at this point? There are so many ways the stories could play out over these last episodes that it's tough to really ask for too many specifics. Just give us a good season of television to wrap it all up. I'd personally like an ending that's at least a little bit happy, and I know,
if you think this has a happy ending, you haven't been paying attention.
But George R. R. Martin has described the ending as bittersweet, which implies some level of happiness thrown in there somewhere. And that's all I have to say about that, for now at least. Thank you guys for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe if you'd like to catch more of my content. I hope you all enjoyed the video, and I will see you guys in 2 weeks. If you guys are interested in other stuff I do, you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter, or check out my website. All of that information is down in the description. I'll see you guys later.